So I'm going to take you back to when I was 14. This was 2016. So at that time, my uncle, I had gone up to Joburg to see my uncle. And basically, he had got me to train. He had basically been like, listen, you're fairly big, you're probably strong. Why don't you come train with me? I was like, all right, you know what? I'll give it a shot. And I really enjoyed it. So I managed to stay relatively consistent with him. When I was there, he'd be like, let's go train. I'd be like, okay, we'll go train. So I stayed there for about a month, trained, everything went well. Everything was good. The diet was okay. Wasn't the best, wasn't the worst, but it was definitely better than what it was. Before, I would eat like KFC, McDonald's, all that shit all the time. It was like something that I had constantly. When I was with them, dieting became a lot more easy because the junk food wasn't available. Obviously, you're a kid now. You don't have your own money. Your parents, it's like what my parents say I can get. That's it. So when I was with them, because there was no junk food available, I just ate what they ate and they ate relatively clean. The problem was when I came back home, I did not have the discipline to stay away from the junk food and to stay consistent, which is the most important thing. So I couldn't stay consistent, and what ended up happening is the first month I'd come back. I'd be in the gym, I'd train without them. I'd be like, yeah, going strong, going strong. A month later, I'm trying, I'm going every maybe other day, maybe once every 3 days, this and that. And then eventually it would stop. I would just stop. I'd get lazy, there'd be too many things to do, whatever, all excuses. Fast forward to now, for about 8 months, I've gone to the gym every single day consistently. And not just like, I train, I do resistance training, and I train very hard. Of those 8 months, in the last 2 months, I've managed to stack on training twice a day, almost every day. And this is something that I think I can help a lot of people with because I went from someone who didn't train to now I'm training. Like, if you told me 8 months ago I'd be training twice a day, almost every day, I'd be like, no, there's no way, because how do you go through that big of a change over such a relatively short period of time? And basically, I want to give you the 3 tips that help me to go from not training to training very hard and then, stacking it up. The point is that I haven't given it up. I've been doing it for 8 months. I don't see a reason why I'll stop now. Even during this period coming up, Ramadan, I'm going to be training as well. So it's something that's definitely ingrained in me now, which is very good. So the first thing is, the one tip I'll give you is you need a routine. A routine is very important because what it allows you to do is it allows you to get rid of any excuses you have. If you have any excuses of, I don't know what to do. Maybe I have schoolwork. I have work to do for whatever job you have, whatever. When you set your routine up in a way that basically allows you to not think about what you have to do, it saves you a lot of time. It also saves you any excuses you have, because it's kind of like when you play a video game and you have a task to do and there's a clear goal. It's like, okay, this is your goal. You go to work, boom, come home, all right, you change, you go to gym, you train. The difficulty comes in where you'll face mental resistance to actually go to gym, and this is where the second tip comes in. The second tip is this: just get into the gym. What do I mean by that? Literally, if you say, okay, I'm going to go to gym, you go to gym, you spend 5 minutes on the treadmill or on the bicycle or the elliptical, or doing bicep curls or doing push-ups, whatever, it doesn't matter. If you spend 5 minutes doing something and you commit yourself every day, what you'll find is as the days go on, you'll be like, okay, you know what, I did 5 minutes, maybe I can do 10, maybe I can do 20. But don't, this is the important part, do not be like, okay, I'm gonna go to gym, I'm gonna do 1 hour on the treadmill, I'm gonna go do 1 hour on the bicycle, I'm gonna go lift weights. You're gonna overload yourself. You have not built yourself to that level where you can do such high intensity over such a long time. It takes a lot of time, well, relatively speaking, but it takes it takes consistency, and that's the important part. It takes consistency and discipline to do that kind of thing. So you need to just dial back. You need to say, okay, baby steps. Let me go for 5 minutes. Let me go for 10 minutes. Let me go for 20 minutes. And you slowly build 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And then you'll eventually work your way up. But don't go from 0 to 100 because it's not sustainable. You can go from 0 to 10. And then once that becomes your new baseline, that's like when you didn't train, you going from 0 to 10, from you not training to training was a step up. Now your new baseline is 10. So when you go from 10 to 20, if you can't manage with 20, you'll drop back down to 10. You won't drop back down to 0. That's what's going to happen. If you go from 0 to 100, your baseline is 0. You're going to drop back down. Okay. The third tip, and I'd argue, is probably what allowed me to do this, to go from not training to training consistently every day, almost twice a day for 2 months. And it's setting a goal. When you set a goal, what it allows you to do is it gives you a clear image of what you want to achieve and what you're working towards. It gives you a why. And the thing is, when you have a goal and when you're trying to achieve something, if the why is greater than the pain you endure, you'll persist. What do I mean by that? Training is difficult. Like the actual physical act of training, depending on what kind of training, I'd argue cardio is more difficult than weightlifting because of the mental resilience you face. With weightlifting, you can lift weights, but eventually, even if you do a lightweight, your muscle will fatigue and it'll give out. With running or cycling, there's no end. You can, unless you have asthma like me, but even then, the more you train, it'll go away and your limit will increase. But to get to your limit with cardio is a lot more difficult, in my opinion. That's just my experience. Back to the whole goal. Once you have a goal in mind, once you have a vision, just say you want to lose 20 kilos. That's what I lost so far. What it allows you to do is it allows you to, when you're in that pain, you'll be like, okay, I really want to quit. But you're like, is what I am, is it worth giving up my goal for? That's what you've got to ask yourself. It's like, I want to lose that weight. I want to get in better shape. And if your why is strong enough, you'll find that you'll persist. And what will happen is you may fail. You may drop down and be like, no, this is too hard. But you have to get back up. You may not get it the first time around. I didn't get it the first time around. Like I said, 7 years ago was when I first started the gym. And I was on and off for years. Now I'm consistent. So it's not like you're going to get it first time. And if you don't, just come back to these principles and learn, okay, do I have a goal? How clear is your goal? Is it like, okay, I want to lose 20 kilos. Okay, I'm going to go to gym, but I'm not going to change my diet. Well, then you're not going to see results. You have to train and fix your diet. It's a two-part. Train and fix your diet. And that's it for now. All right. Salute.